Hey guys, so now that you know the parts of a clock and how to read and write time to the hour, I'm going to teach you all how to read and write time to the half hour. But before we get started, let's talk about what it means to split something in half. So let's look at this board, for example. When we split something in half, that means we're dividing it into two equal parts. So I'm just going to draw a straight line down this board as best as I can so that I have two equal parts on both sides. That's what it means to split something in half. So when we're talking about a time, splitting a clock in half, we can also think about drawing an imaginary line halfway down our clock, such as this. And halfway down our clock would be where the 6 is at. So this is half of our clock pointing to where the 6 is at. Think about how many minutes are in an hour. Remember from the last video, I told you that there are 60 minutes in an hour. Look at all the blue numbers that go around the clock. Those are the minutes. So remember, at the top of the clock where the 12 is, this means that 60 minutes have passed. So let's look to see what number is showing us at halfway down the clock. So if we go halfway down the clock, it's showing 30. That means that 30 minutes is halfway down the clock. So 30 minutes is half of an hour, or half of 60 minutes. So when we are telling time to the half hour, that means it is 30 minutes past whatever hour it is. So for example, if we're looking at this time right here, this time is showing us that it is 30 minutes past 4 o'clock. But you'll notice something that's a little different about this time shown. You'll notice that when looking at the hour hand is halfway in between the 4 and the 5. The reason why it is halfway between the 4 and the 5 is because the minute hand is halfway down the clock. Watch. When the minute hand is at the top of the clock, at the start of the hour, it's pointing directly towards the 4. But as the minute hand is moving halfway down the clock to the 6, the hour hand is also pointing halfway in between the 4 and the 5, halfway in between these two hours. So this time is showing 4:30 is what we would say. The reason why I said 4 instead of 5 is because you have to jump back to the number before. We have not gotten to 5 o'clock yet. Remember, if it were 5 o'clock, the hour hand would be pointing directly to the 5, and the minute hand would be pointing to the 12. So the time could not have been 5:30 because we have not gotten to 5 o'clock yet. It is showing 4:30. Let's try another one. All right, so remember, you first need to look at where the hour hand is pointing. The hour hand is halfway in between the 7 and the 8. It's not directly pointing at the 8 just yet, so we need to jump back to the 7 and see where is the minute hand pointing. So it is 7:30. We would say 7:30 because it is 30 minutes past 7 o'clock, or 7:30. It is on the half hour, half past 7. All right, let's try one more. Now we can see that the hour hand is pointing halfway between the 10 and the 11. So let's jump back to 10 and notice the minute hand. It is 10:30. So that is how you can read time to the half hour. Let's talk about how you would write time to the half hour. So let's get a new time shown. We've got a new time. It's halfway between the 11 and the 12. Jump back to 11. And remember, if the minute hand is pointing on the 6, that means 30 minutes have passed. So it is 11:30. So similar to writing time to the hour, you're going to write the hour first. We know that the hour hand was pointing halfway in between the 11 and the 12. So it's 11. And then we're going to still write our colon, and then we're just going to write the number 30. So the time shown was 11:30. Let's try another one. Okay, now we see that the hour hand is pointing in between the 2 and the 3, so jump back to the 2. It is 2:30. So we would write our hour first, 2, and then our minutes. 30. If I wanted to write 6:30, I would do the same thing, only change the hour. 6:30. Here's 7:30, 8:30, 9:30, and you guys try writing down 10:30. And that is how you can tell time to the hour and write time, or tell time to the half hour and write time to the half hour as well. All right, guys, thanks for tuning in. All right, see ya.